how to help someone without losing yourself. I know if you're like me, you love to help people. You have a heart to help people. But I think a lot of times we could lose who we are as we're helping people. The problem is when we find ourselves being stabbed, like people don't appreciate you, people stab you in the front, stab you in the back, or you find yourself attracting to people that are like vampires, energy vampires, take the life out of you, or you find yourself being a doormat. Now you start to see yourself being a doormat where you're being used. I think that right there is a problem. And I think the deeper problem with that is that we start getting offended. We start getting offended because people don't appreciate us. We also create codependent relationship where we do more for others than they do for themselves. And then we start to ask ourselves, don't they know how, quote unquote, how much I have going on? If you ever heard yourself say that, it's like, man, don't they know that I have so many things going on? The truth is they don't know unless you have actually boundaries, unless you tell them, unless you actually vocalize your boundaries. People don't know what you're going through unless you say something. So I think a lot of times we go out there, we expect people to know us, we expect people to hold on to our boundaries when we don't even vocalize it. And at the end of the day, you feel disempowered. Maybe you're empowering people, but at the end of the day, you feel, again, empty, like you don't have any more energy to give. So that means that you lost yourself. Somewhere along the line, you've lost yourself by giving. Because if you find yourself in your life, in the buckets of your life, your health, you find yourself in your finances, you find yourself in your physical appearance, or not physical, your health, your finances, your emotional state of being, your spiritual state of being empty, and you filled up everybody's cup, there's a problem with that. That means, and I heard this terminology, that means you're responsible for versus responsible to. That's a big, huge difference. The difference is this, what I just told you. When you're responsible for someone, that means you are doing things for them they could do for themselves. Now, they're not babies. No babies, you got to take care of them. Kids, you have to take care of them to a certain degree, and then you have to teach them to be responsible, to switch from being responsible for them to responsible to them. So remember this, there's a big difference. And I found myself being responsible for, and that's where you can easily get offended. That's where you could easily attract people that are vampires. That's where you could attract a lack of boundaries. That's where all those things that I was just telling you about starts to happen. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 3 things in order for you to start shifting from being responsible for to responsible to. Number 1, you are responsible for someone, yourself. You're responsible to take responsibility for you, to be responsible for your finances. You are responsible for your own health. You're responsible for your own spiritual well-being. You are responsible for your emotional well-being. You are responsible for you, for sure. But you are responsible to people to come alongside with them. That's all it is. Meaning if they're suffering, you're walking with them in their suffering. You are not the one to suffer for them. There's a big difference. You are walking with them. And the second thing, you're responsible to walk alongside with them, but you're also responsible to provide a solution for them, if you have one. Maybe a solution is you being just a heart and ears for someone. Maybe it's referring them to someone else, a professional, not you being the professional. There is no such thing as one place where you get everything. No, there is professional for everything. I don't help everyone with everything, right? Then I'll lose myself. So you provide the solution and the application, but you do not do the work for someone else. You're not responsible to do the work for somebody. You're not responsible to carry somebody else when they could be walking. So that's the big difference. When you start to become responsible to people, not for them, to give them a solution, to walk along the side with them, to provide resources for them, then I believe you're going to find yourself again. And I believe the buckets in your life will start to get filled. Because I know it feels good to help somebody. I do know that, but that doesn't actually feel the deep core issue that you may have. So what am I saying? I'm not saying not to help people. What I am saying is how you help people. And how you help people will absolutely determine who you are and your state of well-being. Well, thank you so much for watching my videos. Please do subscribe if you like the video, and please share it, and also click on the bell button there so you can be notified with any new videos that I come out with. Thank you.